All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Your Childhood is a Lie, coming from Casual Geographics. Let's go and check it out, guys.
Yeah, funny thing about that. The sound of the lion in the MGM logo was actually the roar of a tiger. And it's because tigers were seen to have a louder, more intimidating roar, where lions had more of an aggressive, low-frequency cough. I'm not even kidding. YouTube it. YouTube lion versus tiger roar. A lion will make you defecate bricks, but a tiger will make you your soul. You know the majestic, shrieking call of the bald eagle at the beginning of literally
Why would they do that? Well, I guess he just explained why they would do it, because it's more appealing, I guess, and frightening.
Tiger will make you your soul. You know the majestic, shrieking call of the bald eagle in the beginning of literally every Western movie? Well, it was never a bald eagle making that sound. That famous cry was actually a red-tailed hawk. It's because the symbol of America just sounds like a seagull with laryngitis. Go ahead, YouTube it. I'm not going anywhere.
Want to. You're not ruining my childhood right now for that one, bro.
That is the bird we put on our flag. Some jokes just write themselves. Remember the dolphin sound from SpongeBob? Well, you were lied to, because it was
that's the bird.
It's never a dolphin. It was really a sped-up, edited call of this Australian bird called a kookaburra, or however you pronounce it.
Right.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
I heard it, bro. I heard it.
Also, if you're old enough to remember this show, first of all, God bless you. And second, the dolphin call on the show.
Okay, you be calling me old. Listen, I remember this show. I was not alive when it was airing, but I remembered they used to have it on like either at night or in the morning on Nickelodeon, and that was in the 90s. Okay, so pause, but I do remember it like showing up on TV like as reruns, like 20. I don't know. I have no idea what year a show came out in, but I remember watching it in the 90s.
It was also a modified kookaburra. Okay, one more. Mufasa's roar was actually made by using a combination of a tiger, an F-16 fighter jet, and a really pissed off grizzly bear. It's called Lion King for a reason.
The F that
Okay, we're here.
Well, it was only a matter of time. That is a species of Longhorn Beetle. There's like 35,000 types of whatever the hell this is, but this comment says it's a chirping longhorn, so I'm gonna just go with that. Longhorn beetles are famous for two things. Number one, they do not like to be touched, which is why they usually sound like Satan's plumbing. And number two, they're incredibly dangerous. But not to us, because these beetles are one of the biggest ops a tree can have. Since their larvae feed on plant tissue, they often destroy trees from the inside. Adult longhorns will actually girdle the tree branches to turn it into a nursery for their children, which is why the Asian longhorn beetle is one of the worst invasive species in America, since their kids end up killing more wood than erectile dysfunction. In the United States, this longhorn hellspawn is a threat to a third of the urban tree species, which ends up costing us, get this, over $600 billion in damage. You might be wondering how something so destructive even ended up here in the first place. That's easy. Us. We basically Ubered them here. They were accidentally introduced to the US and Canada in 1996 through woodpacking material shipped from Asia. And the bastards have been wilding out ever since. Oh, and they can fly. Cause why the not?
Seagull swallowing rabbit hole.
Seagulls are the feathery antichrist, and I'm prepared to make it your problem. First, we gotta acknowledge the fact that a seagull's diet plan is really just anything that fits down their garbage chute of a throat. This includes rabbits, other birds like pigeons, starlings, and baby ducks. Some British seagulls have even started spawn wiping their own chicks by swallowing their children whole. And some have even gone as far as to start attacking and murking sheep. Yes, sheep. There's also the minor fact that seagulls have started seeking out baby fur seals just so they could rip their eyeballs out and eat them. And after effectively blinding the newborn seal, the seagull will proceed to eat it alive, often starting with the most sensitive spots. These air bunnies will even rip the blubber off the backs of baby southern right whales when they surface, and they've even started harassing beach porpoises. Yes, they even with whales. And somehow, that's not the worst part. I'm not kidding when I say this flying hellspawn will legit put anything on the list. Because seagulls in the UK have even started snatching up people's dogs. In 2015, a Yorkie had to be put out of its misery after getting jumped by a gang of gulls, leaving him basically crippled. In 2019, a Chihuahua named Gizmo was kidnapped by a rogue gull and carried off to where his owners couldn't see him. I don't think they ever found him. In 2015, another Chihuahua named Bella made the mistake of sneaking outside through an open door. That movie ended with Bella getting turned into past tense after a flock of gulls basically pecked her to pieces.
Okay, yeah, I would have never in my life thought that this was even a thing. You know, I grew up on Long Island in New York, and there were seagulls everywhere. And I've never heard any of these incidents happening. You see them in the sky, and you're just like, okay, yeah, these are seagulls. They have no real relevance. I have no idea what they're eating because you never really see what they're eating. Well, obviously they're eating fish, right? But dogs, sheep, whales?
Seagulls are just Hannibal Lecters with feathers and frequent flyer miles. Oh, and they've murked people too. Okay, 3 things. Yes, it's real. It's a Gario and it's related to crocodiles and alligators. And before you judge him,
I'm judging
this picture. This is a male Gario giving about 100 of his babies a piggyback ride the way only a man truly crippled by child support can. If you've never seen this Jurassic reject before, it's because out of the entire crocodilian family, which also includes alligators and caiman, the Gario is by far the most limited edition. There's only about 600 to 700
never seen it in my
guys
life.
left, and in the wild, you can only find them in India and Nepal, which is high-key messed up because Garios eat mostly fish, meaning they've never turned a human into a pack. I mean, they do sometimes eat the corpses of people left in the Ganges River, but they're already dead and no one else is going to eat them, so...
Right.
It'd be like that. The reason this LSD water gecko's endangered is because people destroy their homes, poison their water with metals, and hunt them to make penis-enlarging pills or something like that. It don't work, by the way.
Right.
Also, the reason they have that nose job is because they evolved to hunt fish underwater, and that nose lets them swim with no resistance. Snakes, turtles, and small birds, and yeah, they swallow their prey whole. Which is why they'll also swallow stones to help with digestion and to help keep them underwater without constantly floating up. Also, I can't tell you what they're on, but whatever it is, it looks life-changing. The type that makes you smell color and taste music. Rhinos are one of the most aggressive animals.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I've never seen that thing in my entire life. That's the first time I've seen it. I think I would prefer that species to whatever alligator or crocodile thing, right, that exists. I definitely would prefer, you know, but
in Africa, but that's only because they're basically legally blind and can't tell the difference between an actual predator and a butterfly, so they just charge at anything that moves. And fun fact, you don't even have to be alive to get the smoke, because apparently anything also includes cars, because rhinos are just tanks with mood swings. But in zoos without the threat of predators, ask anyone who's ever worked with them and they'll tell you rhinos are really just the world's heaviest lapdog. That wasn't even really a joke. Rhinos in captivity behave just like armor-plated puppies. Some rhinos will even come running when you call their name, and most of them will roll over just so you can scratch their belly. They're the biggest land animal on the planet that isn't an elephant, yet a black rhino could actually beat Usain Bolt in a race. With a top speed of 35 miles per hour, a rhino could sprint fast enough to get a ticket in the school zone. Rhinos have sensitive skin and really sensitive feet, so they walk, jog, and run all on their toes. A rhino's closest relative isn't an elephant or a hippo. It's actually closest related to the horse. And this weird looking dude from Ice Age called a tapir. This picture went viral because people believe that they were dyeing the rhino's horn pink to prevent it from getting murked by poachers. But this picture, it's fake. What they actually started doing is poisoning the horn in a way that doesn't hurt the rhino, but anyone that tries to cut into it will probably end up in the hospital. We have some time left, so here's what it looks like when a rhino gets the zoomies.
The zoomies? You're treating it like a dog? Okay, yeah, it kind of does act like a big dog.
You might be onto something. Okay, so fun fact, a rhino's closest relative is the horse. We all know that? Okay, good. Oh, and weirdly enough, zebras too. So rhinos are basically tanky horned horses.
Right.
Now this unit is Elasmotherium, but because of that huge thick horn growing out of its forehead, streets call it the Siberian unicorn. They were around about 40,000 years ago, and just like rhinos, that horn was made out of keratin, aka the same stuff found in your hair and fingernails. This PED pony could have grown to 15 feet in length and violated the scales at a minor 10,000 pounds. Also, Elasmotherium was about 6'8", at the shoulders. That is a whole ass LeBron. This walking tank was the last surviving member of Elasmotherinae. And Elasmotherinae was basically a family of prehistoric rhinoceroses that got vaulted for plot development reasons. Which means the animal today most closely related to this land before time tank-sized unicorn is, yeah, the rhino.
The rhino.
So technically, rhinos are just modern-day legally blind Weight Watchers unicorns. Well, actually bicorns, because, you know, most have two. Unicorns are alive, but if this one pulls up, you won't be.
What's a hill that you're willing to die on 1,000% of the time?
Zebras are black with white stripes, and nobody ever believes me when I say.
All right, yeah, we've seen this one here, so we're just gonna actually move forward. This one. Finding out at 25 that hibernation doesn't mean that bears just sleep. Wait. We talking about? Yes, they do. No, that's what it is. They go to sleep and they don't wake up for like 6 months or something crazy. Go ahead, destroy my childhood.
I already made a video about this, but I feel like this is the best way to explain it. So imagine, right, you walk into work and you realize you somehow forgot your phone charger. You wouldn't just turn the phone off because then you couldn't use it and people wouldn't be able to call you. So instead you go on power save mode to reduce how much battery you use until you can get back to your charger. That is high-key what hibernation is. It's power save mode for animals to get through times where there's less food and therefore less energy around.
So
it's not sleep though. Because anything that can sleep for 3 months straight probably isn't waking back up. And the animal version of power save mode is torpor. To save energy, an animal in torpor will lower their body temperature, heart rate, and metabolism to the bare minimum needed to survive. Speaking of bare minimum, bears don't actually hibernate. Now, like for real, hibernation is basically a long-term, deeper version of torpor. An animal that's a true hibernator, like a chipmunk or something, will stay in power save mode for almost the entire winter. When a bear goes into torpor, it lasts shorter periods of time. Which means bears actually go in and out of torpor, which is why some bears will walk around their den in the middle of the winter when everybody thinks they're hibernating. But the big difference you need to remember is that bears can respond faster to danger than an animal that's full-on hibernating. Which means if you mess with a bear thinking it won't wake up, Smokey will have the energy and the motivation to fuck up your way of life. And then you won't be able to wake up.
Okay.
This cuttlefish...
Okay, so everything that I've known regarding that is absolutely false. So even in all the video games that I've played, what was it? I think Elden Ring has like a hibernating bear somewhere on their map, if I recall at least. And yeah, it's hibernating, bro. It's not moving. You can walk around it and do all types of stuff with it, potentially, unless you touch it, and then you're basically going to be deleted in common typical Elden Ring fashion, right? But
she's wearing 3D glasses, but it's for science. Cuttlefish hunt by extending and shooting out their tentacles to grab and trap their prey. So to see how the cuttlefish sees, scientists velcroed a pair of 3D glasses between their eyes. And just for the record, they velcroed them because the cuttlefish kept getting annoyed and snatching them off, and something about that mental image makes me smile on the inside.
Wait a second,
with glasses taped to them, we found out that cuttlefish actually see the world a lot like we do. When you reach for something like your phone, you use both eyes to figure out exactly how far the object is and how far you have to reach. This is called stereopsis. And it turns out cuttlefish use depth perception too. Because when the cuttlefish wore the 3D glasses and watched film clips, they would react the same way they would if they saw prey in the water, by using 3D vision to judge the distance and snatch the prey. And we know this because when one of the lens was blacked out and they could only see out one eye, it took the cuttlefish a little longer to figure out just where exactly the food was. So yeah, cuttlefish use depth perception just like you and me. And if you don't care about that at all, let's just appreciate the fact that some guy went through years of school and student loans just to end up getting paid to put glasses on a discount octopus. And that just makes me happy in a way I don't totally understand.
Like, I don't know why you would want to even do that, though. I mean, what's the purpose of that? That study seems like a waste. He's not wrong. You know, it seems like a wasted study, guys. The most surprising one for me personally, seagulls. That was disturbing because, again, I grew up around seagulls, guys. That's kind of messed up, guys. All right. The hibernation one also, I absolutely thought that bears hibernated. Now I feel like I have to change the overall definition that I've been using for my entire life in terms of hibernation. All right. But all right, listen, let me know in the comments on the next one of these from him that I should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can. All right. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy it thoroughly.